Good morning, all of you. The topic of our discussion is The Ice Habit by Ruskin Bond. About the author, Ruskin Bond, born in 1934 at Kasoli in Himachal Pradesh, is an Indian writer of British descent. He is an outstanding figure of international repute among the contemporary Indian English writers. He does much to standardize our national English literature. Means Ruskin Bond has put a lot of efforts to standardize our national English literature to the international level or to the broader level. He is a prolific and powerful writer. He has written short stories, essays, novels, and children books. The setting of most of his stories is Dehra, as Malgudi is for R.K. Narayan. R.K. Narayan is also a famous novelist. The setting or the place of his novels is Malgudi. Likewise, the place of Ruskin Bond, the place of stories of Ruskin Bond is Dehradun. He has received many awards. Moving further, regarding the introduction of our lesson, it is a short story written by Ruskin Bond. It was originally published in Contemporary Indian English Stories. This story is an example of situational irony. We will discuss in the last of this lesson that how this story is an example of situational irony. The story revolves around the conversation between two people traveling together, each unaware of the similarity that they had, which is being blind. The characters in the story. There are mainly three characters in this story: the narrator, the girl, the fellow passenger. The narrator is the main character in this short story who is traveling to Dehra alone. He has been described as being blind. He is romantic and he loves to talk and know more about the people by questioning them about their lives. Means narrator of our story is an interesting character who likes to converse or interact with people and know about them. The girl is the passenger who travels with the narrator in the train. She has been described as being a pretty and interesting girl. Later in the story, we get to know about the blindness of the girl. The fellow passenger who helps the author realize that the girl he was traveling with was blind just like him. This is the narrator of our story who is blind. He is sitting all alone in his compartment. He is going to Mussoorie by train. The girl's parents bid her goodbye at the station. At the first scene, in the first scene, we can see the girl's parents bid her goodbye at the station and they were anxious, means they were worried about her well-being, and they advised her regarding where to keep her belongings, not to lean out of the windows and to avoid talking to strangers. Like the other parents, the girl's parents are also worried about their daughter and they advised her some important instructions about how to travel in the train. Once the train leaves the station, the narrator starts a conversation. The narrator starts the conversation asking if she too is going to Dehradun. The voice startles her as she thinks herself to be the only occupant in the compartment. The narrator asks the girl that if she is also going to Dehradun. But the girl got surprised after hearing his voice because she thought that she is all alone in the compartment. She answers in the negative, means she replied no, and tells him that she is en route to Saharanpur to visit her aunt. At this point of story, we came to realize that the narrator is going to Dehradun and the girl is going to Saharanpur to visit her aunt. He informs her that he is travelling to Mussoorie. Means narrator, the main destination of narrator is Mussoorie. After conversing for quite some time now, the narrator appreciates her daringly, saying that she has an interesting face. She is happy at this and surprised at it was a welcome deviation from the often repeated phrase, "You have a pretty face." The narrator compliments the girl by saying that she is so pretty. At this point of the story, the narrator wants to hide that he is a blind man, so he pretends that he can see the beauty of the girl and he compliments her. Soon it's time for the girl to bid goodbye as her destination comes into view. Means the station of the girl arrives and she bid goodbye to the narrator. After her departure, a man enters the compartment and apologizes for not being attractive as the travelling companion as his predecessor. Means now the third character of the story arrives at this point and he apologized that he is not as attractive as the girl which was sitting next to the narrator. When the narrator asks him if the girl had her hair long or short, he replies with interest that he had noticed only her eyes, which were beautiful but of no use as she was completely blind. The third character of the story now gives the description of the girl that she has beautiful eyes but of no use as she is completely blind. It is only then the narrator realizes that the girl too was blind. At this point of the story, the narrator came to know about that the girl is also blind like him. So, as we have discussed at the starting of this story that there is a situational irony in this story. How this is a situational irony? Let's discuss. Ironically, the author employs two blind people as his main characters, yet neither knows that the other is blind. The author doesn't realize that the girl sitting next to him is also blind, even after listening to her parents' advice and instructions to their daughter. Hoping to keep her from realizing that he is blind, the author describes the scenery outside from his memories. Means the narrator pretends that he can see the outside scenery and he describes the scenery from his memories so that the girl could not know about his blindness. To continue the ruse, he tells the girl that she has an interesting face. To adding on, he also compliments the girls about his pretty face. The narrator ends up fooling himself. In the end, the narrator fools himself because he didn't realize that the fellow traveler was blind either. The story The Eyes Have It teaches us a very valuable lesson. God has given a fair share of luck and talent to each and every individual in this world. So instead of hiding our shortcomings, we must appreciate what we have and not complain about what we do not have. It teaches us that we shouldn't hide our shortcomings, rather than we should appreciate that we have, and we should not complain about what we do not have. we ultimately learn a very valuable lesson about the influence of initial assumptions on the ways we perceive the world and other persons. This story also teaches us a lesson that how our influence of initial assumptions regarding the world, how we perceive the world and other persons, and we work or we are that perception and implied to other persons in the world. This is all for this lesson. Thank you very much.